prince, his supposedly deep sympathy at the melancholy tidings of the decease of a late majesty or the passing of a well-beloved royal cousin, his putative best wishes that a reign might be happy and prosperous. Abraham Lincoln was now a member of this exclusive, worldwide circle. He had become, in the pompous formality of international diplomacy, the quite unlikely equal and friend of these august personages around the world because, like them, he was now a head of state. One can imagine that the great figures in high politics in Europe and around the world would find this new American leader a puzzle. He had no family heritage, no education, no languages, no exposure to the great world outside his own country, and he did not know that he should not wear black gloves to the opera. He was not accustomed to ordering people about. He did not insist on deference and did not receive much. He had never been in command of anything except a straggling company of volunteers in the state militia when he was 23, who, it is reported, when he issued his first command, told him to go to hell. His only service in national government had been one short and not impressive term as a congressman 11 years earlier. He had not been the executive of anything more than a two-man law firm. He had never in his life fired or dismissed anyone. One knew, because his party's campaign had insisted upon it, that he had once upon a time split some rails, but rail splitting was scarcely a qualification for the role into which he entered in March 1861. He memorized and recited reams of poetry, mostly of a wistful, melancholy sort, which might make wonder about his grip on practicality. He was reported a constant teller of humorous stories, and a man in whom humor was neither incidental nor decorative, but integral, in a way that perhaps an emperor might believe should be left to the jester. Would he, on coming into ultimate responsibility, like Shakespeare's Prince Hal, turn on his own inner Falstaff and say, "I know thee not, old man"? Or would he keep on telling jokes? The characteristics that would lead his stepmother and his law partner and his friends to call him an unusually good, kind, conscientious man might have added to the world ruler's bewilderment, had they known about them. His friends had given him the sobriquet Honest Abe, which might indicate a handicap at the highest level of politics, where a certain amount of patriotic lying is usually thought to be required. Those in Illinois who knew him before he became president said he was an unusually generous human being. He was reported to have more sympathy with the suffering of his fellow creatures than was really advantageous in a ruler, not only for lost cats, mired-down hogs, birds fallen out of the nest, but also for his fellow human beings. Stories were told of his springing to the defense of an old Indian who wandered into camp during the Black Hawk War, and whom his company wanted to shoot. But a national leader must deal in the hundreds and the thousands, and in the realities of the world as it is. The great mentors of statecraft would say that there are many human beings who may be filled to the brim with personal moral graces, but who, in spite of that, actually, they might say because of that, would not make great statesmen. Great command may require actions that would be morally objectionable if done in a personal capacity, and foreclose many acts that are possible in a private capacity. A great captain, a ruler, a prince, so the mentors of rulers would say, needs to command and instill respect. It would be written that one ought to be both feared and loved, but as it is difficult for the two to go together, it is much safer to be feared than loved. But this new American leader was showing a quite perverse disinclination to make himself feared. He did not mark down the names of those who had not supported him, or nurse grudges, or hold resentments, or retaliate against enemies. Indeed, he tried not to have enemies, not to plant thorns. He had gracefully waited his turn in the competition with two others for the nomination of U.S. congressman from his district, and he had gone out of his way to tell his followers not to blame one rival.